One of my favorite effects is disperser, or phase dispersion, and it could be used in many different ways. I also love making preset patches, and I found myself using disperser quite often. But the thing is, I try to make my patches as stock as possible, so anyone can just drag and drop and everything works. That's why I decided to create a stock disperser in FL Studio. So today, I want to show you my thought process and how I ended up creating a stock disperser in FL Studio that works exactly the same as Kiloheart's disperser. And if this is the first time you see me, hi, my name is Anxious, I'm a music producer and sound designer, and I love making content about what I do and what I learn. So, let's get going. Okay, first thing first, what is disperser and what it does to the sound? In very simple words, it's an effect that delays the high frequencies from the low frequencies. This creates a curve in the spectrogram. Here I have disperser by Kiloheart, and the normal spectrogram of a sawtooth wave looks like this. But when we increase the amount of a disperser all the way up, creates that curve that I was telling you about. And you can change the center frequency here. And also you have a pinch control here. This effect is achieved by using a bunch of all-pass filters, and an all-pass filter is a filter that affects the phase of a sound, not the frequency. And if we load a Pro Q4 and let's say we need all-pass filter here, and it looks something like this. Notice it doesn't change the frequency response of the sawtooth wave, but when I move the frequency fast, there is some sort of a drift in pitch. But if we go here and blend this with the dry signal by lowering the mix to 50%, it creates a notch. And add another all-pass filter, and another one, and let's just add another one here as well. And now let's take it fully wet. This is the basis of a disperser, but here we have only 5. In disperser, there's way too many. Okay, what other things that we use that have all-pass filters? Well, phaser does have an all-pass filter. Actually, the effect that we just did is kind of phaser. Like the phaser is the blended wet and dry signal together. So let's load the stock phaser in FL Studio, and it looks like this. Like, it's way too old, but when you just load it on the default preset, it sounds like this. We can customize this by just lowering the minimum depth and maximum depth. I'll turn off the sweep frequency and the stereo, and here you can see the notch stage or the number of notches, which means the all-pass filters. So this has 23 all-pass filters, and let me turn down the feedback. And here you can make it fully wet. And you notice, like, we have that effect now, but the problem is, A, this is very subtle, B, I can't control the pinch, and C, like, I can't get really low. So I needed to figure out another way to do this. What I was looking for is a plugin in FL Studio that uses all-pass filters or provides all-pass filters, and I have it. It's one of the most overlooked plugins in FL Studio, which is Love Filter. Love Filter is by far one of my favorite plugins in FL Studio, and when you first load it up, it's a normal low-pass filter. But here you have different type of filters. If you go here, you find an all-pass filter right here. I went and created like 8 all-pass filters here, but 8 is not enough. How can I increase the all-pass filters? Well, you can say we can use multiple LUF filters in series in Patcher and control those, but I wanted a more efficient way. And let me just explain this very quickly. If we go to an all-pass filter here in ProQ, you see it creates only this notch here. Like if you blend it with the dry signal, let me just turn it on and turn off the LUF filter. It creates this notch at this frequency. But if we change the slope of the all-pass filter from 12 to, let's say, 63, now we have 3 all-pass filters, or 3 notches. And this is more important because now I can control the pinch from the Q factor. Check this out. If I had another all-pass filter, exactly the same like this. So let me just put those on 100. Okay. And put this again at 63. Cool. Now, if I take this fully wet, you can see we kind of have this effect now. And here's the pinch, you can see it. So to make this usable in LUF filter, here you can see this menu where you can turn the filter off or keep it single, dual, triple, alt dual, and alt triple. We want this, like by default, it's single. And let's just also blend this with the dry signal and see what this is doing. As you can see, there is multiple notches here. It should be 1 because we're using single. That's because of the oversampling here. Turn this off and enable high Q envelopes and center. And now I have a single notch. And if I go to dual, there's 2. And if I go to triple, I have 3. And if I control the resonance, I can change the pinch. So this is what we're going to be working with. I want all the filters to follow the same amount of resonance and cutoff. So in order to do that, I will go to cutoff here, to mod X, and map it all the way. And same for the resonance, mod Y, and map it all the way. And make sure smooth is on because this will smooth the envelope. You can hear the effect and see it now. And if we blend this with the dry signal, as simple as that. Now I need to do this for all the 8 filters in LUF filter. So I would go to filter 2 and make this all pass, but there's a problem. Now, filter 1 and filter 2 now is running in parallel, and I don't want that. I want them to go in series. So in order to do that in LUF filter, you keep the input volume in filter 1 or the first filter, like at 100%. You go to filter 2, you turn this volume all the way down to 0, and this volume all the way to 0, and this next to 100%. Make sure it's 100% because it can be boosted to 125. We want this to be 100% so we don't get a boost in the volume. We pick this to be all pass filter. I'm gonna keep it triple and go to cutoff, mod X, and map it the same way I did for filter 1 and the resonance on mod Y as well. And now it should be working. Oh, I forgot this. You need to turn this volume down and send it to the next one, which is filter 2. Now they are working in series. And to be able to hear the output of filter 2, we need to turn off this next and raise this to 100%. And now you would hear the 2 filters together. As you can see. Now, I'm gonna do this same process for all the 8 filters and get back to you. All right, now we have it. As you can see, now if we take this all the way wet, we have a disperser with a pinch control. Now I can come here and say that mod X is center and mod Y is the pinch. And I can like constrain this to look something like this. And if we play it even lower, now, you can save this as a preset and use it as your stock disperser, but I took this a step further and made a custom patch, and it looks something like this. It has an amount control, center, and pinch. And if we increase the amount and the center, it's more aggressive than the left filter if we just compare it to this. And the reason why, because I used 3 dispersers to achieve this, which is 3 instances of left filter. Each one I made it into a patch, like it looks something like this, where I controlled the mix of each filter. So they open after each other's, not just all at once, filter by filter. So it looks like this. And the pinch control as well. And at the end, I added pretty parametric EQ just to make low cut, like for safety, because sometimes it can be aggressive in the lows, especially on like extreme settings. Creates this rumble. So that's why I put this filter. So this is how I created the stock disperser in FL Studio. Hope that was really helpful. And if you really find this helpful, please make sure to subscribe and like this video and let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to grab this Patcher preset plus to many different Patcher presets as well, become a Patreon member. I'll leave the link down in the description below. And if you want to watch more content about Patcher and one of the most recent patches I made, check out this video here. I recreated the color hypergrowl filter by AU5 inside Patcher that works exactly the same. So make sure to check out this video and I'll see you there. Peace.